In the ever-evolving world of tiny house living, homeowners are blending timeless aesthetics with contemporary sensibilities. A country cottage feel in a modern tiny home explores how a quaint, countryside ambience can be infused into a space that is designed for efficiency and modern functionality. From rustic beams to cozy textiles, every design decision is intentional and nostalgic, yet grounded in today's lifestyle needs. In this video, we'll take you on a room-by-room journey through a stunning tiny home that beautifully marries cottage charm with clean, modern lines. Let's step inside this delightful fusion of eras. The charm of a country cottage begins at the very first glance, and this tiny home doesn't disappoint. Clad in weathered white shiplap with sage green window trims and a welcoming arched front door, it feels like something out of an English countryside painting. Wooden flower boxes overflow with lavender and trailing ivy, while a stone pathway leads to a tiny porch complete with a rocking chair. Although the structure is modest in scale, the use of cottage design cues, like the gabled roof and traditional lantern sconces, creates an exterior that's both storybook and sophisticated. No country cottage is complete without a cozy front porch, and this tiny version delivers all the charm in just a few square feet. A narrow bench made from reclaimed wood sits under a vintage tin sign, and a hanging lantern gently sways with the breeze. There's even a mini herb garden housed in aged clay pots, adding fragrance and life to the space. The porch acts as a transition between the wildness of nature and the curated comfort of the interior, serving as both a welcoming gesture and a practical nook for muddy boots or a morning cup of tea. Stepping through the arched front door, you're immediately greeted by a warm, nostalgic atmosphere. The entryway is clad in vertical beadboard painted a soft cream, with antique hooks for coats and a built-in bench with gingham cushions. A small framed mirror above the bench reflects light and enlarges the space visually. Though just a few feet in size, this entryway is thoughtful in its function and form, providing storage, style, and a smooth transition into the main living space. The heart of the tiny cottage is its living room, a compact yet inviting space where rustic textures and contemporary layouts converge. Exposed ceiling beams and distressed wood floors provide a classic backdrop. A petite love seat in oatmeal linen anchors the room, paired with a woolen throw and floral pillows. Beside it sits a cast iron wood-burning stove, bringing both literal and figurative warmth. Built-in bookshelves, filled with vintage finds and well-loved novels, line the walls, proving that small spaces can still be rich in detail and personality. A defining trait of this cottage-inspired tiny home is its carefully selected color palette. The hues are muted and calming, think sage greens, soft creams, gentle grays, and occasional accents of dusty rose or cornflower blue. These shades are timeless and natural, echoing the pastoral landscapes that inspired them. By using this palette consistently throughout the home, the design feels cohesive and serene, allowing the space to feel larger, airier, and undeniably welcoming. Selecting furniture for a tiny home requires a balance between scale and comfort. In this country modern space, each piece is intentionally chosen. The love seat is perfectly sized for two, while the coffee table doubles as storage. A ladderback accent chair adds vertical interest without bulk. Most of the pieces are vintage or vintage-inspired, boasting distressed finishes and natural materials that enhance the cottage ambience while still fitting within the clean, organized aesthetic of modern design. Large windows are a key feature in making this tiny home feel expansive and connected to its surroundings. Framed in soft green or natural wood, the windows are intentionally left bare or simply draped with sheer linen curtains, allowing sunlight to flood the space. The view of the garden or nearby woods becomes part of the interior design. It's a nod to the rural lifestyle where living in harmony with nature isn't a luxury but a way of life. The ceiling of this tiny home is more than a surface, it's a statement. Tongue and groove wood boards painted in a warm white stretch across the ceiling, with exposed beams adding depth and rustic character. These beams aren't just for aesthetics, they also house lighting fixtures and conceal modern wiring. This clever blend of design and utility is what allows the space to maintain its vintage charm while staying thoroughly functional and up to date. The floors in this cottage-style tiny home are another tribute to tradition, with wide plank pine boards that have been lightly whitewashed to show their grain and texture. These floors offer durability while also contributing warmth and authenticity. A few handwoven area rugs in soft patterns are scattered strategically, providing comfort underfoot and defining separate areas without the use of walls. The kitchen may be compact, but it's brimming with charm and utility. Butcher block countertops, a farmhouse sink, and beadboard cabinetry painted in soft dove gray give the space a nostalgic feel. Open shelving made from reclaimed wood showcases ceramic mugs, mason jars, and herb bundles. Hidden beneath the charm are modern appliances seamlessly integrated into the cabinetry, proof that you can have a homey look without sacrificing functionality. Storage in the kitchen is a combination of open and closed, practical and pretty. Upper shelves display aesthetically pleasing items, while lower cabinets hide the less attractive necessities. There's even a pull-out pantry cleverly tucked beside the fridge. Baskets, crates, and antique tins serve both as decor and storage, embodying the cottage spirit of using what you have and making it beautiful. A built-in bench hugs one corner of the kitchen, forming a breakfast nook with a small round table and 2 crossback chairs. The space is bathed in natural light thanks to a corner window, and the bench seat lifts for extra storage. It's a picture-perfect place for a morning coffee or a candle at dinner, proving once again that thoughtful design can transform even the smallest corner into something special. Above the living area lies the sleeping loft, accessed via a wooden ladder that doubles as a design feature. The loft is wrapped in soft linens, quilts, and throw pillows, creating a cocoon-like sleeping environment. A skylight overhead lets you fall asleep under the stars, while a low bookshelf at the foot of the bed adds charm and function. Though modest in size, the loft embodies all the snug coziness of a classic cottage bedroom. The bathroom continues the theme with its vintage-style fixtures and warm, homey feel. A pedestal sink, brass fittings, and a round mirror framed in would set the tone. The shower is clad in subway tiles with a floral mosaic border, bridging old-world aesthetics and modern construction. Despite its size, the room feels fresh and pampered, thanks to clever lighting and soft textiles in checked or floral patterns. Instead of flat drywall, this home features textured finishes like shiplap, beadboard, and lime wash paint. These finishes add visual depth and harken back to traditional cottage building methods. They also help bounce light and provide a subtle visual interest that compensates for the smaller scale. This textural variety becomes a central design element, elevating simple construction into timeless charm. Cottage decor is never about perfection, it's about stories and sentiment. This tiny home is filled with hand-picked items, vintage clocks, family photos in antique frames, dried lavender bundles, and hand-thrown pottery. Each item adds to the layered narrative of the space, giving it authenticity and heart. The key is restraint, choosing only what fits and what feels meaningful, ensuring the home stays uncluttered yet rich with personality. While the aesthetic is thoroughly vintage, the infrastructure is cutting edge. The home boasts solar panels, a tankless water heater, and high-efficiency insulation. Smart climate controls ensure comfort year-round without sacrificing sustainability. These invisible systems allow the home to meet modern expectations while preserving its nostalgic look, providing a best-of-both-worlds experience. In a tiny home, every square inch must pull double duty. The love seat folds into a guest bed. The coffee table hides a pet nook underneath. Even the staircase to the loft contains hidden drawers. By integrating clever storage into traditionally inspired furniture, the cottage aesthetic is maintained without compromising on functionality. A country cottage thrives on its connection to nature, and this home is no exception. French doors open to a small patio with a bistro set and climbing roses. A trellis frames the view, and a fire pit invites cozy outdoor evenings. The garden extends the home's footprint, blurring the boundary between inside and out, and reinforcing the cottage lifestyle where the land is part of your living room. country cottage vibe naturally lends itself to sustainable practices. Reclaimed wood, vintage furniture, hand-sewn curtains, and composting systems are all part of the home's ethos. These choices don't just support the environment, they enrich the character of the home. Living lightly on the land is no longer a sacrifice, it's a stylish, fulfilling way to design and dwell. The home's neutral base allows for easy seasonal swaps, pumpkins in autumn, evergreen boughs in winter, wildflowers in spring. Wreaths, throw blankets, and pillow covers rotate with the calendar, offering new moods without overwhelming the space. This flexibility is key to keeping a small space feeling fresh and alive year-round. Ultimately, what makes this tiny house feel like a true cottage is the love and intention behind every design choice. The homeowner's personality is infused in every corner, from handwritten recipe cards in the kitchen to a DIY floral chandelier above the dining table. These personal touches transform the house from a design exercise into a lived-in, loved-in home. This modern tiny home, dressed in country cottage charm, proves that size is no barrier to beauty, comfort, or tradition. With smart design, a soft color palette, and meaningful details, it captures the warmth of a rural retreat within the practicality of a contemporary structure. It's a home that doesn't just shelter, but inspires, inviting us all to slow down, live simply, and cherish every cozy corner. Whether you're building your own tiny home or dreaming of one, the country cottage style offers a path to live with elegance, nostalgia, and intention. It's not just about design, it's a lifestyle that values connection, craftsmanship, and comfort. If this tiny home speaks to your soul, it might be time to bring a little country cottage into your own modern life, no matter the square footage.